Okay guys, this is a fun test. We have the Sony ZV1 against the Pocket 3. And what's fantastic with the Pocket 3 is the amazing tracking on this camera. The Sony ZV1 doesn't have tracking. Not now, because I'm using it on a Crane M3 gimbal, which don't have IR tracking. But this is a fun test to see how good they actually are and how the image quality is. And the cameras are just fantastic. This is so fun to test. And I can't wait to see how the image quality is, because the Sony ZV1 is still a really good vlogging camera. A lot of people has it, but if you're going to buy a new camera today, is it necessary to buy the Sony ZV1 over the Pocket 3? That's what I'm going to test today. Image quality is important. All the cameras performs, of course, it's also important, but the size of the Pocket 3 is just fantastic compared to the Sony ZV1. The Sony ZV1 has internal stabilization, but it crops in quite a lot and it's not fantastic. The Pocket 3 has a built-in gimbal, which is amazing, and both of them can shoot in up to 4K 120 on the Pocket 3, and up to 4K 30 on the Sony ZV1. So there are some differences. They both have flat color profile. You have S-Log and you have HLG on the Sony ZV1. You have D-Log-M and HLG on the Pocket 3. But the biggest difference between these two cameras is actually that the small Pocket 3 can film in 10-bit. You only have 8-bit on the Sony ZV1. So I'm recording today in normal color profile. That's the best way to compare them, I think. So see how the image quality is, how the colors looks like. On the screen, the Sony ZV1 looks a lot darker than the Pocket 3. But f2.0, I set the aperture to f2.0 on the Sony ZV1, and yeah, the lens on the Pocket 3 is f2.0. So let's check it out and see how the stabilization is, how it is to vlog with, yeah, in normal use. Let's do that now. So far guys, I've found out that using the Pocket 3 is easier just because of the face tracking. The Sony ZV1 produces really good image, that's for sure. It seems to be overexposing a little bit much there. And that's a little bit strange because I cranked down the exposure quite a lot, minus 0.7, but it is what it is. So that's what I experienced so far, that the Pocket 3 is easier to use with the tracking. The tracking is so important, and of course the size. The Pocket 3 is small compared to the Sony ZV1, but I think that the Sony ZV1 still is a fantastic camera. and I'm pretty sure that a lot of people are gonna enjoy using it. So would I prefer the Pocket 3 over the Sony ZV1? Yes, now if that was my choice today, I would choose the Pocket 3 over the Sony ZV1, but that's only because of the size. When it comes to photos, I'm pretty sure that the Sony ZV1 is much better, but same sensor size, so yeah. But this is overall a fantastic vlogging camera, but the Pocket 3 is, in my opinion, better. And of course you have the flat color profile on the Sony ZV1 as you have on the Pocket 3, but this is an 8-bit camera, the Pocket 3 is a 10-bit camera, so that's important too. It's beautiful today. Yeah. And what the Pocket 3 has, as I said, is the face tracking and active track. It's fantastic, and it seems to be a little bit wider field of view. That's probably true, but so this is the image from the Pocket 3 using it as a vlogging camera, and of course internal mic. So what do you think about the image quality side by side with these two cameras? Is one better than the other? Like I said, I think if I could choose today, I would choose the Pocket 3 over the Sony ZV1. But if you have both of them, they are both great for different use. But of course, using the Sony ZV1 is a little bit overkill for vlogging, and of course the field of view is extremely important for a lot of people, and that's one big negative thing about the Sony ZV1. But this camera has 20mm and the Sony ZV1 is 24mm, all open. So yeah, I don't know. I think this is a great camera, but the face tracking is just fantastic. And that's what I notice when I'm vlogging with the Sony ZV1. For me, that is not good using a gimbal. It's kind of hard to try to keep you in center all the time. That's what I love about Pocket 3 with the tracking, is you can place yourself in frame on the left side or the right side or the middle. That's just fantastic with this camera. Yeah, and so of course overall the size. So this was fun, just a couple of shots, nothing special. Just want to see how they compare side by side. Of course I'm gonna take this camera vlogging in city center just to see how they compare to each other there. That's important too, but fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to subscribe. And by the way, this video is sponsored by Klaus Tuxen. He bought me a couple of coffees yesterday. Thank you so much. Tusen takk. I know you're from Denmark, so you understand Norwegian a little bit. So yeah, that was amazing. And this was fun. Just outdoor in the beautiful nature, walking and testing the Sony ZV1 and the Pocket 3. Two excellent cameras. It's going to be really fun to see how the image quality is, especially thinking that both of them has a 1-inch sensor. That's going to be fun. And what I noticed when you're out with the face tracking with the Sony ZV1, the Pocket 3, is no matter how you swing the camera, the tracking just keeps you in frame all the time, and that's just fantastic. That's difficult with a gimbal, so that's a fantastic thing. And the tracking seems to be pretty good. The Pocket 2 has some major issues with the tracking. This doesn't have that, so that's just fantastic. So let's wrap this up. The Pocket 3, the Sony ZV1, which one? I don't know. You can choose, but for me, the Pocket 3 seems to be overall a better camera. It is, and that's mainly because of the size. I think in image quality they're more or less exactly the same. But we're gonna check that out. So give me a thumb up and subscribe. And if there's anything else you want to see, leave a comment down below. And if you want to support my channel, you can buy me a cup of coffee like Klaus Tuxen did. Like I said, this video is sponsored by him. So thank you so much, Klaus. Tusen tack. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.